You know, it's been a very big week on Capitol Hill in Washington. The cut, cap, and balance debate came to a head. Of course, that bill passed in the House of Representatives and failed in the U.S. Senate. That's probably what most people could predict. We are here with Rick Manning. He's Americans for Limited Government Communications Director. Thank you very much, Rick. Rick, what are you hearing on Capitol Hill? You spent a lot of time up there this week. What's the word in the halls of Capitol Hill?
Well, there's a real determination on the Republican side, particularly in the House, to try to really fix the problem that we face. The debt limit, the debt ceiling is not the problem as they see it. They know that the problem really is that we have a creditworthiness problem, and unless that's fixed, we are doomed from a further financial future. So here's what they're looking at. They're looking at trying to continue to press, cut, cap, and balance, to challenge the Senate to do something. If they don't like that proposal, find something that does, in fact, meet the needs of S&P and Moody's, who are threatening to downgrade our credit rating, and to try to really address the long-term problems that our country faces, as opposed to just kicking the can down the road. I've heard a lot of determination in that regard, and it's really invigorating to hear that and to know that they really do understand the problems that face our country.
What's your take on the resolve of some of the leaders in this cut, cap, and balance debate, people like Jim Jordan and some of the other Republicans on Capitol Hill?
Well, I had the opportunity to sit down with Jim Jordan earlier this week, and he's just amazing. Jim Jordan is truly the one hero to emerge in this entire debate. He stood up to powers that are both in the leadership and at the president's, at the level of president and Harry Reid, and said, we're going to do the right thing for America. We're going to do what it takes to put our country on a sound financial footing. If there's one rising star who's come out of this whole debate, it's Jim Jordan from Ohio.
Today you sat down with another member of Congress, Vicky Hartzler of Missouri. What's your take on how she feels about the way that this act did not get through the Senate, and also what's your take on the future? What's going to happen next week in this debate?
Well, Vicky Hartzler stands up and really strong for a balanced budget. She stands up really strong for trying to do the right thing. She understands that this isn't about the debt limit. This is about a credit crisis. And so she really is at the cutting edge of trying to make the situation right for America. The challenge that she sees is that going ahead, the Senate said no to something that's already passed the House, but the Senate has no plan of their own. And at this juncture, she doesn't see what they can do unless the Senate comes back with something and says, this is what we want. And so she's really looking to Claire McCaskill, who voted against cut, cap, and balance, to tell America what she wants. What would she support? Because the House has done their work. Interestingly, in the week ahead, I did specifically ask her about the Fair Faith and Credit Act, which she does support, our Full Faith and Credit Act, which what that does is it would, in fact, make it so ensure that military gets paid, make it so that Social Security gets paid, and making sure that we do not default on the debt by paying the people who we owe money to in terms of interest payments. And that bill is floating around as a potential that we could see in the next week, the House passing and putting it over to the Senate and saying, we don't want to default. We want to make sure our military gets paid, and we want to make sure Social Security gets paid. And we want to tell President Obama that you can't default on the debt. You can't cheat out our seniors and our military men. So it'll be interesting to see if that bill comes up in the next week.
All right. Thank you very much, Rick. The debate will undoubtedly rage on.